Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to do 360 waves on me. Disclaimer, I actually took a shower in a hotel. I was there a few days and I left my good shampoo. So I did not comb through because it was going to hurt. So it's a little matted in the middle. So I've shampooed my hair in the shower and I'm going to go through the detangling process. I actually have some deep conditioner in now and I love to do this. Usually I like to detangle with my deep conditioner in so I can make sure it hits every strand. So you'll see me parting from ear to ear. I'm going to separate those first two sections and then I'm going to separate that back so that we can start the detangle process. All right, so now I've rinsed my hair. I have it wrapped in a towel. This is a little bit of hair that I left that I went to go flush down the toilet. And voila, here we go. Hair has been rinsed. I do not take the twist out when I'm rinsing my hair because then it just kind of defeats the purpose, especially when your ends are bad. If you leave it twisted, you can rinse it the same. It'll still rinse really well. But I don't untwist it until I need to. I decided I wanted my ponytail to be low. So I did a little, like the top of my ear to the top of my ear for my first section. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, taking a large amount of that hair and putting it towards the back. And you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so the main purpose was to get that top portion section off and put away so that I can take care of business in that back section. So yep, there it is. It's not a straight part. Don't judge me. So I'm going to go ahead and begin to section off this back as well. I would like to make that into two sections and you'll see why in just a minute. So on my last video, my silk press and sleek pony, I told you guys that like my client, I did cut a chunk of my hair and there it is right there on the side near the back. So I'm going ahead and making 3 sections. So I have my front section, my middle section, and my back section. And what you want to do is detangle it with your bigger comb. With natural hair, that's one tip you guys need to remember, is to detangle at every step. Comb it at every step because it will revert back. It wants to be natural. So here I'm going in with my blow dryer and I am drying my scalp. I am stretching my hair, and the reason I hold on to the ends is because if you let it go, then it's going to recoil into a tangled mess. And so I'm holding on to the ends, which is simultaneously stretching the hair, and I'm drying the middle of my head because if you go to put that hair in a ponytail and it's all soaking wet in there, then you're going to deal with that mildewy smell. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but I've had clients who would wash their hair and pull it in a ponytail, gel it back, and then go to the gym or whatever and do their daily routine. Well, when they get to me a week later and I open up that hair, it almost makes you want to pass out. And not only that, I would scrub it and use everything I could and the smell would not go away. And the salon was filled with this musty smelling hair smell. So dry your middle first. So next step, we got all that done. Next step, fun step, is we're going to apply some Cecily's Organics to the middle of my scalp. This is my oil, y'all. I made this lovingly, handcrafted. So I'm going to apply that all on my scalp, and I don't want to put it close to my hairline because I don't want it to affect my ponytail and how it lasts, but just right there in the middle, and I massaged it in real good, and that's it. Okay, so I've gotten my ponytail in the position that I wanted. And next we're going to go through the process of molding. Here I'm showing you, you don't want to use a wide tooth comb. You want those teeth to be really fine. So it doesn't have to be that exact comb, but it does need to be really fine tooth. So like I said before, you want to detangle at every step, especially if you need your ends trimmed, but really just make it a practice. So I'm hitting it with a dryer. Even though this is the part that's going to be gelled, I still like to kind of hit it with the dryer just a little bit. Combing it again, and then I'm going to part it into 3 distinct sections right in that front. So I want to have a little flap on the side, and then I'm going to create a little triangle there in the middle, and then I want to have another flap on the other side. Okay, so now that I have my distinct sections in the front, I'm going to use my Gorilla Snot gel, and I'm going to apply a thin layer to that back section, that back ponytail. That's going to be the start of your waves. So you do want something there. You don't want that to be dry. The inside of that ponytail can be dry because it's not going to matter, but the outside needs that first layer. And then you're going to use your small tooth comb to comb it in and to press it down. So you're combing, pressing, combing, pressing. All right, look at those waves starting to form. Look at that, look at that. So next thing we're going to do is take this middle section and start making small partings, and we're going to add the Gorilla Snot to the section of hair. And you want to go down pretty far along the hair shaft. You can go down maybe a couple inches. For me there, I'm just kind of combing it. I'm using the comb to distribute it down. And I can feel with my hands where my ponytail is stopping. So I know that's good. But look at how when you comb through it, those waves are starting to kind of pop. They're already popping. You're going to keep going with these sections. One thing I wanted to mention as well, I like to do this with, actually my favorite gel to use is the Eco Style, the Argan Eco Style. You can get it from Walmart. It's the green color. This is my second favorite because this one actually does make your waves pop, but it is a lot. You see how hard it is for me to comb through it. It's very thick, and it does hold, but the Eco Style will give you a really nice wave as well. Okay, so I decided to go with the middle part, and what I'm going to do is leave that middle section till the end. So you're going to start working on your side pieces. You want to clip the same thing like you did in the middle. You want to, section off a small little piece, add your gel. If you don't get the pieces just right and you say, oh, it's a little thicker, you don't have to keep reparting it because that part doesn't matter. So if I part a little bit thicker, then I end up adding some gel to the front and the back. But if it's a nice thin piece, then I'll just add some gel to the front piece. When I do this hairstyle, I get stopped everywhere I go, and they want to know, how do I do it? Well, I gel my hair. It must be your texture. No, you have to go layer by layer. That's what's going to give you that ultra flat look, that ultra wavy look. Layers. I really do this on any texture hair. I had a client who had not quite 4C hair, but she was pretty close, and I took and did this method to her, and she was absolutely in love. She said, oh my gosh, girl, I didn't know my hair could look like this. So people that look at my hair and say, oh, well, you have that texture, you have that whatever texture, It's not that. I promise you, if you take your time and do the sections like this, your waves will pop, and your hair is natural. Your hair has to be natural. But yeah, your hair will pop. So take your time, make your sections, dry that middle so it doesn't smell like somebody died in there. And your waves can pop just like mine. One other note here I want to mention is you do want to comb through each section all the way. So you may have a section that you want to go ahead and comb through, make sure that comb kind of rakes gently across your scalp so each part is getting molded together. Take your time and do that. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. So here I'm making the distinction with my middle part. I'm going to put some gel. Now you can see I'm kind of putting it further down because that front piece has further to travel to get to the back. If I was doing a high ponytail, then it would be the opposite. I would do more gel in that back part, and then, that gel in the back would go further to the ends, and then the front would be shorter. But because that has to travel all the way back, I'm putting more towards the end. Also, I wanted to say, you see how I'm going in and digging in and combing? My hair is still in a ponytail up under there. But I'm just combing through to make sure everything is blended together. And that's another thing about the Gorilla Snot. You see how it looks like I'm combing really hard, but it's such a thick product that you really have to treat it like that. The Eco Style, you don't have to be as rough. So yeah. Now, I'm not going to do anything to the nape of my neck yet. You want to wait on that. But you are going to, all of that's going to be snatched, but you don't want to do it just yet. Okay, so I'm going in and I want to do my baby hairs. Now, this is important. Soften the bristles of your baby hair brush. We only get one set of baby hairs, guys. We have to treat them gently. So you don't want a baby hair brush. I've thrown brushes away that I have had that are super, super hard. A mid-grade is fine, but you don't want something that it hurts when you're brushing down your baby hairs. It should not hurt. If it hurts, then you need to throw it away. Or like I did, I pressed, really hard. You can run some hot water over it and press down, because guess what? Baby hairs are not worth you being bald on your edges. Okay? It's not okay. Okay, so I think I got them looking the way I want. I'm going to check out that back again to kind of see how my waves are beginning to form. They look great. And I'm just showing you guys so y'all can check it out. Now, you don't want to do this. You see how I pull it tight and you lose your waves? You don't want to do that. So at this point, I take the clip out from underneath, which I didn't get on camera, and I comb that base all together, right? And then I'm going to grab it and loosely braid it. Now, loosely is going to be how I start the braid, but then towards the middle, when I know I'm out of danger of, kind of pulling those waves until they form, I'll get a little tighter. So I did it a little looser, and then now I can do regular tightness, and then I'll just kind of put a little rubber band on it and keep it moving. All right, so now we're going to go in and hit the nape of the neck. The reason I don't do it earlier on is because the slip, it's usually too slippery. And when I go to grab that hair, into kind of like that fake mold, it's just so slick back there. It doesn't really help or benefit anything. So I can always do it after, and it works out just fine. You see I laid that down? You see that? So next thing we're going to do is right there, you see there, we're going to put a little bit of gel there. We're going to blend that down, and it doesn't need to be put in a ponytail yet, because the looseness, so the products being on each layer and then it being loose, is actually what's going to help form those waves. And if you can see, it's already beginning to form beautifully. Okay, next thing you're going to do is grab a basic scarf. Look at my waves. Like literally, that was like seconds. But basic, bandana, and you're going to put it on and tuck that middle piece underneath so that you can pull it super tight. See, I'm kind of pulling it tight. Tight as you can take it, but not if you have a headache or anything. And I pulled my ears out, and I'm going to tie it. And one other thing, I left my baby hairs out. You don't want to tie those down, because how you set them, it's going to end up looking flat and weird if you tie them down. All right, so I'm excited. We're going to dance it out, dance it out, dance it out. Hey. Okay, I put on a little bit of makeup and I'm ready to do the next step. So typically when I would do this ponytail, I set it overnight and I don't have to do this part, but because I'm doing all of this in one day, I decided to hit it with the dryer, and it's not going to be completely dry. It's just going to be, so when you take that bandana off, it's just, that same level of wetness. So yeah, we're going to take the bandana off and the reveal. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, listen. And I want to say this too. If you set it overnight, it's even better. And I'll have to do a part 2 to show you how to refresh it, because you are going to have to kind of mist it with a little water and refresh it. I'll just record a part 2 of that. But honey, I know I'm fine. Look. So you want to go in and you want to comb that part and blend it down. And here's the reason why you want to do this overnight, because I am going to have to put a scrunchie on there. And if your waves haven't really set, then I am stretching it out some. But I know that it's still enough there to show out. So they're still, you see how it's softened them up a little bit because they aren't completely dry. So but I wanted, for the sake of the video, to show you guys like what it could look like. So I'm putting a little oil on there. And if you know from my last video, I like to put oil on before I put my extensions, because I don't like my extensions getting all greasy and you know, like there's nothing really you can do with them when they get oily. They get oily, it's like over with. But honey, listen, my hair, honey, it's flaky, okay? My daughter would be like, Mom, stop. My hair is flaky. It is. Get it. Ow. I found some weave, and I like thick. I usually use 2 bundles, I'm gonna be honest, on my own hair, because I have a lot of hair. But I only had 1 bundle left over from a client ordered some hair, and I ordered just 1 extra bundle. And so I only had that one, unfortunately, and it was in a bag, thrown in a bag somewhere. So I just pulled that out for the sake of this tutorial, so y'all can see what it looks like with some texture on the end. I am going to wrap a band around it, and I'm probably not going to spray it because I know for a fact I'm not keeping this in very long. Usually when I do this ponytail, I like to rock my own hair, typically, at the end. So I like a nice little crispy, neat bun. But you can do the same thing with this hair as well. So I just misted it, and I wanted to give y'all a little something. I said what? I said I just wanted to give y'all a little something. And so now, true to my typical self, I'm just going to do a little bun, because I love buns. I love a classic look. And I love having something that looks controlled. So I just did a basic wrap. I didn't even pin it. And I just wrapped it, kind of pulled some out, and voila. There she is. Boom. Boom. I want to be honest with y'all. I went to Walmart after this, and some man asked me for my phone number with this hairstyle. So if you want to get a boyfriend, do this hairstyle, okay? Yes, angles. Look at all the angles. And you can see how deep the waves are. They're not very deep, but they can. If you set it overnight like this, I promise you will have fabulosity waiting on you when you wake up. So I had to go out in the sun so y'all can catch the wave. Catch the wave. Hey. Hey.